Okay, everybody. Today you're going to learn how to configure quotations and how to work with them in your SuiteCRM system. My name is Bastian Hammer, your go-to expert when it comes to all things CRM, e-commerce, marketing automation, and sales integration. Okay, so let's go. So I assume you've got your SuiteCRM system already installed. You're working with leads and with contacts and accounts. And now you want to get started doing quotations from your CRM system as well. Fortunately, this works fairly well out of the box inside SuiteCRM. Let's give it a try. So the quotes module is somewhat special because there are a couple of special options and configurations. Let's first look into the configurations. If you go to your admin area, and then there is something called sales module settings. So in here there are some specific settings for the quotations. As you can see, the quotation settings, or like there can be quotation numbers, which makes sense. Usually you would deal with like a quote number, an invoice number, and things like this. And you can set it to something which will suit your needs. And it will start from there and then simply incrementing, counting up to the with every single quote. So and then there's something which is a bit special. There are groups for line items. So you imagine, we'll look into this in a bit. So imagine you've got like a quotation and then you've got one line item which is, let's say, a service fee, and the second line item which will be a product fee. And then you can group them, and here you've got the option to have like groups, the name of the group and so on. We'll check it out in a bit. So and then add text to line total. So if you want to do this one as well, not only to the products, you can do this one. So I would keep it like this and change it later on to see how the changes affect our quotations. Let's go and create a new quotation. So here I would just say or name it like test quote. This doesn't have to appear anywhere close to your inside your communication towards your customers, so you can build a naming system. Sometimes it's quite inconvenient to enter this because it's kind of unnatural to name a quotation, and for many projects I've done something like you can just enter whatever you want to here. As soon as you save the quote, it will use calculated fields and a workflow with calculated fields to produce or to set a correct title based on the current date and the customer name or customer abbreviation or something, and it will always take care of this by itself. Check out my video on workflows and specifically the workflows with the calculated fields to see how that works. So the next thing is I want to, but I don't have to, pick an opportunity. So that depends a little bit on your sales process now. You can create an opportunity from a quotation, but the other way around it doesn't work. So maybe if you first do a lead and then a lead asks, okay, how much will this be? And then you would write a quotation for that lead, and you would the lead would then say, okay, that sounds interesting. Then you would create opportunity from this quotation. So this would be working. But if you first have a lead and the lead tells you, okay, that's my budget, you first create an opportunity and don't have a quotation yet. This is where we would be here and now select an opportunity. And now I can randomly select anything, doesn't matter. Let's say Smith and Sons. And now you can work with the standard data. It's always a good idea to keep it if it fits for your workflow, for your processes. So at the moment it's a draft. Later on we will be in negotiation. And after this is finished, I can say I delivered it. Means like I've sent it to the person already or to the potential customer on hold. Yeah, they want to think about it, confirmed. It's basically like they signed. We can go ahead and create an invoice from it. And then the whole closed options there. Valid until date. So depending on your processes, your business process again, like it could be that it's only valid for 1 month or whatever. So here 1 month is the standard configuration, but you can change this as well to, let's say, 3 months or whichever fits your needs. So invoice status, by default, it's not invoiced yet because we're currently in the quotation stage. Assigned to, if you have like one key account but another person is doing this one, then you would pick the CRM user right away here now. But usually in most of the projects, the person who is creating the quotation will be the one who is talking with the customer as well. Then it would fit. So here you've got your payment terms, and you can add them flexibly. So this is just a standard field which you can extend. Check out my video on the fields, especially here how to add or edit the values which are available in those drop-down fields. And now we've got an approval status. I would set this basically to not approved by default. So in case you have like a hierarchy in your company and somebody is creating the quotation and the team leader or whatever still has to approve it. And just in case if there's approval issue, this would be here where the team leader would just write like, that doesn't work. We can't provide this for, let's say, 3 months. It needs to be valid until only 1 month. And then it goes back to the person, to the account manager, and the account manager will change it. And then the approval will be granted later on. So now in the second panel, we have to select for who the quotation should be. So you can start with the account. That was Smith and Sons, if I remember correctly, Smith, and I can select it or pick it here. So either you search with the filters, or you, in the best case, or if you're lucky, just like me now, it was available here, so I can use my browser or feature to search for it. If you want to change anything of how this is being displayed, like which kind of columns you want to search for, which kind of fields you want to filter here, check out my video on the views and on the customization of those. So I select Smith and Sons, and as you can see from the account, the city is already copied, or like the address is already copied. Therefore, quite easy and neat. I don't have to re-enter this. So now another feature, if you know already the person who this is going to be for, Smith and Sons, then you can simply type it in. I don't know who is working in Smith and Sons and who I'm dealing with, so I have to check this now. So here we've got 4 contacts, and let's say Randall is the person who received my quotation or who I'm talking with. And then I can simply go here into the contact, Randall, and as you can see, it automatically provides here the right person, and you don't have to go via this select arrow again and then select this person. Works either way, just as you prefer it. So currency, check out my video on the currencies. So here, since we're doing this in English, I'm using US dollar now as the default currency for our quotation. And now here we got the groups, which I was just talking about, which you have seen at the beginning inside the admin panel. So if you're working with those groups, and then we've got maybe like products and services. So here I would have like one service, whichever service, and I have to, don't have to, but you should add a group name, otherwise it's just lacking of something. And then you would add your product here. And inside the product, so this is now a line item. Probably you know this from others like e-commerce or whatever. It's always like one order, and one order can have several products or line items. Line items are kind of objects or instantiations, copies of products. So even if you change your product later on, it will not change your line item here. So you can select the right product, just as with any other module. And then you can change, for instance, the quantity. And as you can see, it automatically updates the total. So you've got the tax amount, and you can configure it to your needs as well. It will calculate this one as well automatically. And if you want to, you can write a description and a note. And usually the description will be added to your customer's quotation, and the note is more of like an internal nature. And now what you can do is you add another group, and this group might be like product. And since I haven't added many products, I only have one product here to select from, and therefore we have to live with this for the moment. But you can imagine if you have like a couple of different products, your services, your products, different product lines or groups or something, and then you can just pick them one by one and add them here. And we just assume we've sold this one time. The tax was again 17.5, and it looks all the same as above. So what you can do additionally now here is add a service line. So I would not recommend it. So this is not a specific product, and therefore later on you will have problems if you want to do reports on your quotations, on your best-selling products, and which account bought which kind of products. And then you need to get your reports from two different places. One place would be the service line items inside your quotations and the product itself. So therefore it's a bit inconvenient. I'd rather work with products. Check out my video on products as well, because there you can configure whether it's as a service type of product or like a good type of product. And therefore try to avoid it if possible. But I've seen it in several projects where you usually sell products, and then one service was packing or whatever, where you don't have like a product. It happens very seldom. You want to just in a quick and dirty way add another line item into your quotation. So that's when it's usually being used. I would try to avoid it if possible. Okay, and as you can see the totals. So now we are back into the quotation itself, not on the line items anymore. And it will be total here. Subtotal is 550 because we kind of have it 11 times now. And the tax is being calculated and the grant total including tax. Looks good so far. I click on save. So now this one here is a bit special or a bit different from other modules. You've got many tabs here already by default. And here you've got the header information, then the quote to, so the details or the relationships to which customer the quotation is related. And you've got the line items, and you've got the different group names here pointed out, and others just like the standard fields. Okay, something else which is interesting or special here about the quotations is the action menu here. So of course, edit, duplicate, delete, just like any other module as well. But here you've got something like print as PDF, for instance. Here it would be possible to print this as a PDF file, and then later on you can put it into your email and send it out to your customer. So I click on this one, print. It will ask you where you want to store it. It will download it to your computer or generate and download it. And then you can click on it. And as you can see, you've got the quotation with all the details inside your a PDF template that you created before. If you don't have the template set up yet, check out my video on the template creation for quotations. Additionally, you can email it via PDF. So here in this setup, I haven't configured my email yet. I'll do this later on, and then you would simply be able to email this as a PDF file. And then you can email the quotation, which is not an attachment like the PDF attachment on the email, but there it's more like you know it from e-commerce. You don't get an extra PDF attachment necessarily. Sometimes you just have like a little bit of a table inside your email and you've got all the data there already. And as you can see, I can create an opportunity from it. So that is what I mentioned before. If you're kind of flipping around your sales process, so the lead might be interested, he said like, okay, can you do me a quotation on exactly this product? Then you would start working on the quotation with the lead together. And then eventually, if the lead says like, okay, I might want to buy this, you can create an opportunity from it. Create contract. After this quotation is being accepted, you can create a contract and an invoice. So if you're working with contracts in your business, then this makes sense. Maybe there's like a yearly contract and you've got like 12 invoices, one per month for this contract, and you want to convert it to an invoice, and there you might need to break it down then into several invoices. So I've done this in one project where the standard for the invoice didn't work, but the contract worked very well, and then the invoices had to be generated based on the contract and the quotation data. We'll check this out in other videos later on. As you can see, the quotation module is a bit more complex. You've got a couple of more options. It's working very smooth if you stick close to the standard. If you can't do that, you probably have to use some workflows to help you to adjust the workings of the CRM system according to your business processes. Okay, let's quickly recap because this was quite complex. We have seen in the administration area that there are a couple of configurations for your quotations. And then we've created a quotation, and there are a couple of things that you need to link, or that you should link to the quotation. For instance, an existing opportunity if you have, the details where the quotation goes to, the account, maybe you have a contact as well. Then you need to set up your line items, that is like the instantiations of your products, and when to use what, how to work with the products, and how the CRM system is working with all the details for the pricing, for the calculation, and so on. Additionally, the quotation has quite a couple of options and is nicely integrated into other modules as well. So check this out, see how you can employ it in your processes, and make full use of the quotation module on your CRM system. Thank you very much for watching. That's all for now. See you next time. Bye.